I
What?
know you'll see somehow the
Again,
word.
still don't know it. You know what's awesome though is that Wizards of Waverly Place started filming.
Don't want it. I don't want that.
Really?
I've
For some reason,
never.
this is the one thing I want. One thing I want. I
No.
don't know why. I
When
don't know
is
why.
any reboot of anything ever been good?
That never, not once.
Never
But
ever.
why? Why is it that I'm excited for this? I don't know why.
Well, it's the same characters, I guess, which is exciting. But like, I
Yeah,
can't. I don't want the reboot of anything ever.
yeah. I don't either. I think, but except for
I've
I saw this and I was like, oh, I need. I'll watch this. I'll tune into this.
I've almost started. I've almost like stopped watching old shows and movies because I just would prefer to have good memories of them than rewatch them and be like, oh, well, that's terrible.
This is this isn't that good. I got the opposite effect with The Office this last summer, but yeah, understandable.
What, you rewatched it and you're like, this is amazing?
Yeah, yeah.
The Office plays no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter
This
what.
is episode 55.
2, 1.
Okay.
Oh, right. Oh,
Wow.
sneak attack.
Welcome in.
We're back,
We're so
baby.
bad. I missed you. We
Miss
weren't
you
together.
too, I know.
I didn't have anyone to hang out with. No recording here. And you are having a tough time.
What the f-
Welcome in.
That's my number,
Big
bro. That's my
five.
angel. That's my angel numbers.
Oh, really? What are mine?
Yeah. You don't. I don't tell you. They come to you.
Oh, definitely eights. Some 4 to 8. Some.
Yeah. My house number 55.
Fuck yeah.
Whenever I look at the clock, it's 55. My bus number as a kid was 55.
There you go. There you go.
I was like 55. That's me. Double nickel.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
55.
Someone was wearing 55 the other day.
I know. Feels like some offensive lineman's got to be 55. I feel like I'm forgetting an obvious one. Oh, there's definitely Willie McGinnis, Junior Seau. It's a good one.
Those are not
Dikembe
obvious.
Mutombo.
Oh, that one's. I should have got that. How do those sirens sound?
Good. I just had some of my own. So, Jay Will. Probably go Jay Will.
Oh fuck! That would be the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
White
the one.
chocolate.
That is the one for
White
sure.
chocolate.
White chocolate. Welcome in. I was gonna say something and now it's gone. Oh, we invited Chandler Jones on the podcast. He rejected us again.
We did. I also invited. I have been commenting on what's his name's vlogs. O'Shea.
Oh, shit, Brissett.
Yeah, Brissy TV. You don't watch those?
No. I have been.
Okay, good.
Not actually. No, I have. I haven't been. I've missed the last few.
I
he's
commented on his vlog and I was like, "Come on the pod, yo."
Yeah, please. So okay, so 0 for 2 on that. Hoping for them next week. Could we say?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Antonio Brown also put out a job listing for CT ESPN, which we could apply for.
Which I'm pumped about. That'll be sweet.
Yeah, that's huge. That'd be a big break for us.
Yeah. Imagine if it's like it's under like one network. It's like the Wagon and CT ESPN.
Yeah, right. Sponsored by CT ESPN. Would you give yourself like a head injury if you had to do it to work there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, me too. I just want to make sure you're committed as I am.
No doubt.
Okay, cool.
I
It's
saw
January 30th.
What? God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wrote. So I had to write an essay last night for my internship class.
Okay.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
Right.
It's like an hour long. It's supposed to just be like, yeah, we just do this to check in. Everyone else I've talked to is like, yeah, we don't really have homework in my internship class. Well, I do. Of course.
Huh.
My teacher is like, you need to write an essay on this book, like a bunch of pages of the book. I was like, all right, sounds weird. I'm reading the book written by him. He wrote the book.
All right.
He wrote the book.
Okay.
So why don't you just teach us it? Why don't you just tell us what it is?
That sucks too, because you can't like. Not only can you not look things up, but like if you're wrong, you're really wrong.
Really wrong.
He'll know.
Really wrong. And I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? And it was like, there's actually most of the internships here are like film related, but like they're not all film related. Me, not really film related. Right. And the thing was just, the whole piece was just about how horrible the film industry is.
Okay.
And so like, one, doesn't relate to me at all. Two, how shitty must every kid reading that feel about their future? I'm like, what are we? Right. And I mean, I guess it's fair, but it's just like, it's just his personal account of the film industry. I'm like,
okay, yeah, not biased at all. Not biased.
No. Why don't you just tell us a story in class? I don't know why.
Literally, I like the class stuff lately has been so dumb for me. So dumb.
Me too.
Also, like saying the film industry has been shitty. Like as I've grown older, I don't think anyone out there could name an industry that they're like, oh, this is the best.
Right? right?
Because then everyone would just work in it, and no one does that. So like everything sucks.
Yes.
Which is like you either have to suck it up and like hate your job, or just like I don't know, make a bunch of money and then retire young,
Right. Oh, and
or
guess
be
what?
homeless.
Right. The like the failed ish film guy who's now teaching at a college didn't have the greatest film business experience. What a shock.
Okay,
What a
yeah,
shock this is.
and then he wrote a book saying the film industry sucks.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Precisely.
maybe you just lost in life, and now you're
Right.
pissed, and you're
Exactly.
ruining other students. I don't know. It's
Right.
like who other than even like the best jobs you could think of, like playing like soccer or something like that sucks too. They play every day and they get hurt. It's like I couldn't even the Brazilian national team couldn't even go home because they were so hated.
Right.
Like everything, every job sucks. No one likes a job.
Everything's
There's not one industry where everyone there is like this is awesome. Maybe people that work at like a ski resort, they probably love skiing.
Yeah, surf instructors.
Right, surf instructors. But then it's like you deal with people that have never have
so
no
annoying.
idea.
It sucks. It really sucks.
I'm just trying to catch a couple barrels.
Yeah, dude. I went to the beach.
Know,
I went to the beach this weekend.
I don't want to hear any of that. Don't want to hear any of it.
Don't hear about it.
It was a good time. Yeah, I know, but I don't want it. I will get too jealous.
I had a experience that I think you can relate to. It was one of those moments where everyone was going out, but it was all on this one strip, right? And everyone's going to these different clubs or bars. I just wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I was having a good time though, but I just wasn't really feeling, the vibes of everyone on top of each other. Just wasn't really feeling it. So we had gone to this little pub area earlier, like mid-afternoon, mid-evening, and it was, the vibes were unreal. Like sports on everywhere, just
right. Yeah, it's the best.
Just the boys. So I'm like, me and our friend Kevin, it's like 12, and we're like, what if we just went back? Went in there, had a glass, had a bite to eat, just us two, while everyone else was out for like an hour or two, and it was unbelievable.
No, it's so much better than being in a club or anything like that. Yeah,
so much better. Just go and hang out.
That is better than the alternative to what I sometimes found myself in, wandering
the beach. Well, that's what he was doing before, because I was like, hey, where's Kevin? Right. Like, I'm on the beach. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Pretty late. And yeah, we walked back in the pub and they were like, oh, the boys are back. And I was like,
the boys are back in town. Yeah.
That's all you need to say to me, and I'll never leave.
That's unreal. Yeah, that's the best. I just dropped a class for the first time. This is my third college. I've dropped out of college, but I just dropped a class for the first time, and I felt like the weight, like the world was on my shoulders. Like I don't know why I felt so bad about it.
I do it every term. I just dropped.
Really?
I just dropped the class with Sparrow.
Oh, damn! How are we gonna get him on?
I know. I was actually just eating lunch next to him, so I could have.
Dude, gotta slide him a note. Be like, Paulai.
There'd probably be a scroll. Yeah,
Paulai. Yeah. Dude, I dropped the class. I think I was just upset about it because I knew I wasn't smart enough to do it. Which it doesn't matter, but I was like, there's no way everyone in this class knows how to do this stuff, and I am clueless.
Right.
Yeah.
It was advanced statistics, right? Fuck.
No, it was hydrology, which is the study of water. So I was like, oh, we'll just be learning about rivers and lakes and cool stuff like that. And the class was all based on statistics and physics, which I haven't taken either of them.
No thanks.
Yeah, and the teacher was going over basic principles of the class, doing this crazy math stuff about what I don't even fucking know. But she comes over to my desk when we were doing problems, and she was like, "How you doing? Do you know how to start this one?" I was like, "Yeah, I got it. Go ahead. Don't worry about me. I got it." And she looked at my notes, and I was drawing a bear. And she was like, "Okay, I got it." And then I emailed her after the class. I was like, "Hey, I think I'm just going to drop the course. I don't know if I can handle the course." So she was like, "Yeah, good call. Really good call."
Yeah, that was good. Not for you.
I was like, all right, whatever, bitch.
You don't have to say that. Maybe you could be like, oh, no, we're going to, you should really stay and challenge yourself.
No. She was like, that makes sense. Good. I think those are exact words. That makes sense. Maybe no, she was really nice. She was nice. And everything was on the chalkboard with chalk in the year 2024.
Oh my
God. I was taking notes, and I looked up, and it was all gone. I was like, how am I supposed to, what do I do?
What is happening? I got this bear that's near completion. And you
I can just look up. I can look up anything we're learning about.
Right.
I was also sitting there wondering what % of people on Earth could solve those equations, and I figured it had to be less than 1%.
Oh, so minimal.
Had to be less because who would need to?
Right. Who would
other than a couple students and then math teachers and like maybe some crazy
river
engineers.
Makers? Yeah, I don't know. If you're making a river, then maybe you need that.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. I bet the MythBusters probably use that a lot.
Probably do. They're smart guys. I figured out the one class that I can, the 1 4-hour class that I can sit through is sports class. I just talk about sports 4 hours. That's what I did this morning, and it actually flew by for the first time. So I was of the belief that I can't sit in any class for 4 hours. That one I can do.
How is it with the Emerson people?
Well, so a lot of them dropped it. A lot of them dropped it, and it's a lot of what goes on in that class. There's some really knowledgeable kids about like one sport. Like there's a lot of soccer fans in there that actually know their stuff. Like Ben's in there, and then there's some basketball. Like Noah's in there, and then another kid. But like I'd say a third of them don't really know what's going on. To be fair, this one kid was like, "Yeah, I've never been into sports, but I just started getting into it like last year, and I just want to learn more." And I was like, "Fuck,
fair enough."
Like, this one other kid started pressing him about like that, and I was like, "What are we doing? This is why."
No, you should make him your Padawan.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
actually, some girl in one of my classes has like a long ass Padawan braid. It's fucking sick.
So cool. That's sweet. We were just talking about college football. No one really knows college football in that class, so I was just me and the professor.
Dude, we don't know any people that know college football.
Why? Like,
we know Andrew Gase. We don't know anyone that knows football at all. We've tried to have people come on the pod, and none of our friends know about football.
None. I don't know how that happened.
I have some friends that you don't like hang out with as much, and none of them know about football enough to like talk about it deeply. And I don't know it like a ton deeply, but I could have a chat with anyone about football. Yeah, I don't have any friends that are like super knowledgeable on football, which is weird because it's by far the most popular sport.
Yeah, it's very strange. I have so many basketball friends.
I wonder if it's a New England thing, like a
but then it's why would you,
like I know because the Patriots, but I think like our age group growing up, it's like we just turned on TV and the Patriots won every week. We weren't worried about like what every other team was doing, where the coaches were going, anything like that. We're just like, we're just like, oh, the Patriots won again.
Yeah, but we did about the Celtics, who were like, oh, who can the Celtics trade for? All of a sudden, they're playing all this.
Right. And like people know about college basketball because it's like I'm tuning into March Madness every year.
Yeah. And just no one knows about college football somehow, even though it's
But, honestly, I'm still kind of a newbie to college football. I haven't gotten into it. I mean,
you're pretty into it this year.
No, I'm into it this year, but like if you asked me like 5 years ago stuff, I wouldn't know it.
Yeah, I'm good on college football history for like the last 10 years, and then it gets real foggy.
Yeah, I can do right now, but I can do past. Speaking of biggest news of the week, Iowa Hawkeyes have been restructured completely. Going to be a high-powered offense. I forget the guy's name, but he was a coach at Western Michigan, was it?
Something like
that. And he was like 121st out of 137 ranked offense for like his entire career.
Who's the worst guy? Who can we get? Who's going to be the worst guy?
We talk about this every week, it seems. Like, I have an idea for something. Let's just run a football program where we bring in the guys that make the least amount of sense.
Every time. Well, but the thing is, for them, it makes the most amount of sense, which is
right. Awesome. No, but it makes sense for them because it's dumb. Like it's like this dude. The Steelers are like, let's bring in Arthur Smith.
Yeah, bring him on in.
Who's the one guy that could maybe outdo Matt Canada? Let's try that guy.
Bring him in.
He could maybe be worse than Matt.
The Ravens are like, oh, you know what we've been amazing at, elite at all year, running the ball. We're playing the Chiefs AFC Championship game. I have an idea. Let's run the ball 3 times.
Let's use a running back 6 times. That's the actual number.
Yep.
6 times. They ran the ball like 8 times, and I think 2 of them were to Zay Flowers.
Yep.
We're the number 1 rushing team in the league. How about we just don't run it at all? We'll switch it up a bit.
Switch it up now. Let's switch it up now. I don't. No. Yeah, it's hilarious. I don't understand it.
I don't either. Yeah, really. The more and more I get into it, the more and more I'm like, we might be able to coach a team to a win.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just going to do the best thing every time. The thing that makes the most sense.
Which clearly we couldn't, but like every day it gets closer in my head. Like, I mean, what are we?
Can we just kick a field goal, Dan Campbell? Is that so crazy? Hey, how about a running back?
It would be easier to be a GM than a coach.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
but also at the same time,
I could 100%, dude. I could 10,000% be Nick Sirianni.
Oh, for sure. Are you kidding me?
100,000%.
I could be Dan Campbell. I could get the boys fired up. You kidding me?
Yeah,
bite some kneecaps and then hire this like wizard to be my offensive coordinator.
Right. Who might stay? You want to get into the game?
He's staying. Yeah, he's staying. Confirmed.
Right? Oh, confirmed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Lucky
is huge.
Jared Goff. Yeah, that is
Huge
big
for that program. Huge.
I believe they have to pay Jared Goff now too, so they're just committed.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. The Lions thing is really interesting because they did this really cool idea where they're like, we have this running back who's playing amazing. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry. I think it was like almost 7 yards a carry.
We have two of them actually.
Two of them actually. Two of them, not just one, but two. Yeah. And we have 2 4th and 2/3s with like the game kind of on the line. Mm-hmm. Let's just go ahead and throw this thing. Let's go ahead and throw it.
Let's go ahead and throw it, and not only throw it, but let's go to our 3rd, 4th best receiver on the team.
Yeah. We have really good pass catchers.
Certainly, he'll catch the ball.
Let's go to our 4th guy, 5th guy.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, we got Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta, one of the best rookie seasons as a tight end ever.
I've never seen him drop a ball.
So. Never, ever. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a lock for 10 catches and 100 yards a game. Yep. We have those 2 great running backs out of the backfield. How about we go to one of these Reynolds guys?
Yeah. Let's throw it to that guy. And then we have, it's 3rd and goal. Clock now really a factor. So now we should probably throw it to the end zone.
Just so we don't waste the clock.
Touchdown or an incomplete pass. Clock's out. No, we're going to run it now. Let's go ahead and run this thing. Oh, no, we get stopped. Use a timeout. Game's over.
No, I've played enough Retro Bowl to know when to run it, when to throw it, when to call a timeout. Like that stuff shouldn't be the hard stuff.
It's crazy. Just do it. Just call a timeout.
No, just do it. I don't though. Like I'm with Dan Campbell on going for it in those tough situations because like whatever that kicker's name is, like clearly they didn't trust him.
How about 77% from that distance career?
How about only played 4 games for the Lions, though? And how about made 1 field goal north of like 50 yards all year, and it was in a dome?
Right, which is fair, I guess.
Which ties into it. Plus, you're Dan Campbell. Like you live by it and you die by going for it in weird spots. Which is like it's his coaching, it's his way of coaching, whatever.
Right.
Which is unfortunately they died by it, but like we've talked about it, like even like I'm going to reference a Joe Mazzulla coaching strategy. It's like live by the 3, die by the 3. Last playoffs, they died by the 3. Like maybe this playoffs, they'll live by the 3. I could see a world where Dan Campbell and the Lions win those games, obviously, because they were up big early. Which my main takeaway from the game was watching that first half. I was like, oh, the Lions are awesome. They can win this game. But they were up, 17, 24, whatever.
Yeah.
They were up 17, and not for a second was it like, oh, wow, the Lions are in the Super Bowl.
Nope, not for a second.
Not for a second. The whole time I was like, they're going to do a Detroit Lions thing and somehow lose this game, which they did.
I was like, wow, Lions are starting good.
Like if it was flipped, if the 49ers were up that big, I'd be like, not a single chance in hell the Lions can come back, which is weird because of Shanahan's record of not being able to come back in those games. But
yeah, but all of a sudden he's been there like 4 times now, so it's like.
And at the end of the day, he's a top 3 coach in the NFL.
Yep. Both losing teams like so actively showed their, we talk about like, they have the championship mentality. And it's like, does that actually mean anything? Yes. Yeah. Zay Flowers getting controversy. Of course, he's like my age. Yeah, of course he would do something like that. Lions making these absurdly dumb decisions. The 49ers are like, we're just going to play our game.
We're just going to win. Shout out Brock Purdy. Elite.
Yep.
Confirmed.
Yeah, had a shaky first half and then was like, I'm going to be super good in the second half and not make.
I'm going to turn into Lamar Jackson in the second half. Ran the ball all over the place.
That was a nice little wrinkle. Him just being able. I'm like, oh, you're fast. You can run. Brock.
That's a thing that puts him above like the Jimmy G argument. Like Jimmy G would not have made those runs or anything. He would have taken a bad sack or something and been like, oh, this is gross.
He does, and even Purdy, like for like that picture where he looks like the IT guy, like. He does have more aura than any of those Shanahan quarterbacks. Like he has some dog in him. I think he does.
Not more than Kaepernick wasn't. Did he? Was that a couple years with Cap? Never.
No, he never had Cap. No, never had Cap. He had Manziel. I don't know.
Dude, he has no aura. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I wasn't even that high on him in college. I was like,
no, cool. Not Manziel. I'm talking about Purdy.
No, I mean I don't think he has a bunch of aura. I'm comparing him to other Shanahan guys, Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, it's like I think he has a little more of character to him. And I saw
Jimmy G was like sexy though. That was his thing.
Yeah, at least he was sexy. But everyone was like, he's so soft, and I don't really like being his teammate. But I think everyone loves Brock Purdy. So
I think everyone loves Brock Purdy too. Yeah. Yeah. So the Niners are playing the Chiefs, which is
the Chiefs.
4 years to the. It's a leap year. Niners playing the Chiefs, and it's going to be Trump versus Biden in the election again. Same exact thing as 2020. So
Senior year.
Get ready for the country to be shut down.
Not pumped about it. Not pumped about it. They're wearing the same exact uniforms as it was in 19.
Oh, really?
Yep. So, not pumped about that, honestly. But
I think Mahomes has only wore white in the playoffs three times.
Three times because he won it last year. So he won it with white last year. So 3 times. Yeah. We can just dive into the Mahomes stuff now. Everyone's saying it already, but I honestly the first drive was like insane. That was insane.
What happened?
The first drive in the Chiefs-Ravens game for the Chiefs, they just like ended up with that Kelsey touchdown. They were just like, march down the field.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know if Mahomes threw an incomplete pass. It was just like
boom,
boom,
right.
boom, 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 boom.
Oh, and by the way, people like Travis Kelce is still the best tight end in the league.
Yep, he is.
I don't know if anyone forgot that. And now the leading receiver in like playoff history or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's so the Patriots. Like it's so the Patriots, especially that last Super Bowl. Like we've been saying.
Yeah. So I have let me pull this up. What do I got here?
Like Gronk, you keep pulling it up, but like Gronk that year like was really, not great. It's like, oh, we can see this is probably his last year. And then that catch to win it in the Super Bowl is like one of the greatest plays in NFL history. Like the diving catch against the Rams. Like
yes. Yeah. So this is just a comparison saying how similar it is this Chiefs dynasty, this 5 years versus the Pats like end of their dynasty, like 2014 to 2018, which was arguably their best stretch of football other than their early years. But 2014 to 2018, the Pats and the Chiefs both won their division every time. They've been to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl all 5 times, I believe. Yeah. And the Patriots have 3 Super Bowls, and if the Chiefs win, they'll have 3 Super Bowls. The Chiefs' record in those years was 63-20, and the Patriots was 62-18. So the Chiefs just played a couple extra games. It's just I don't even understand it, dude. It's like Michael Jordan retires, and the next year LeBron James is gets drafted.
And this one there was actually some overlap, but barely.
There was some overlap, which is it's like Kobe Bryant, I guess. Yeah, like, I don't understand how it is working in sports.
It's nuts. I mean, it's nuts, and he's doing it. It's so fucking similar. It's unbelievable. Even with like the tight end, you have an all-time great tight end who's just gonna be all-time great when he needs to be. Like another thing about Mahomes that I didn't realize, he just never throws interceptions in the playoffs, ever.
Right? Yeah, he doesn't. No, not bad ones. I think he threw one in that Bills game.
Nope.
A while ago in like the second quarter. Oh no.
Oh, a while ago. Yeah, he hasn't thrown one since the Bengals AFC Championship game that they lost.
Oh, so then the Bills game was after that.
So it might have been the first Bills game.
Bills game was right before that. Actually, Bills game was right before that.
That's right. Yeah,
I have some crazy, not crazy, just like a quick stat from that game too. In the second half when the Bengals beat the Chiefs. So I was looking at like the only time the Chiefs lose in the playoffs because I was trying to find something how to beat the Chiefs. The third quarter, the Bengals scored 10 points. In the fourth quarter, the Bengals kicked the field goal. And at the very last second, Harrison Butker made a field goal to go to overtime to tie. So they had 3 points in overtime. That's it. And then the Bengals won a field goal in overtime. So, like, you'd think that maybe if you can just hold the offense in the second half and you can get your offensive going, then you can win football games. Chiefs didn't do anything in the second half versus the Ravens. 4 punts and a knee. And they took a knee, that's all they did. And they won the game by 2 scores. 4 punts, and then they took a knee.
It's crazy.
What more can they do? What more can the Ravens defense do?
It's absurd. It's
There's
absurd.
nothing.
And the Chiefs, it's just like we'll just put on a clinic defensively, and no one's going to make a mistake on either side of the ball.
No. Yeah.
And, I mean, that Zay fumble was so costly. And the penalty. And that's why
I think the taunting thing should be allowed because it's like if you taunt like that and then you fumble the very next play, that shows you like, okay, you got to use your taunting wisely because then you just got shown up the very next play.
Right. And so that's more taunting. I mean, that's more of a penalty really than the actual
Yeah,
penalty.
but it's just like it's also like, wow, you're an idiot for getting this other guy going who's nasty. But if you,
Yeah.
I think
Which
everyone's
sucks.
pro taunting, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, taunting's awesome. Taunting's so
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's crazy. I have a whole goat thing here
Okay, I have a
because
quick question. I
please
just have a
ask.
quick question. I was just thinking about obviously all the Lamar Jackson stuff, having 2 playoff wins and 2 MVPs now. Do you think, which is we were talking about it last week, where like if he wins the Super Bowl, he's a lock for the Hall of Fame, and now it's like, will he win the playoffs ever in his life?
Yep.
Do you think, like, what other quarterbacks do you think could have won that game versus the Chiefs in the second half? Like, do you think if Josh Allen was on the Ravens instead of Lamar Jackson, they win? Or do
I
you think
think
there's
Josh
anyone at all?
I think Josh Allen and Lamar are like way similar than people think.
I think they're way more
So
similar too. Yeah. The only thing
yeah,
is, it's like they held. I think Josh Allen might be able to get a couple points on the board, and if the Ravens defense holds the Chiefs to 0 points,
probably Flacco.
flag it. Probably just go Flacco. Maybe Ryan
Flacco.
Tannehill. No, but
Flacco.
I bet Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow did it.
Yeah, I mean, but that defense was nasty, and I don't know if I want to blame it on the play call, but I still don't understand why they got away from the run. And that, I mean, if you look like that, like turnovers are turnovers, you know what I mean? Like if Zay Flowers doesn't fumble, all of a sudden it's what 17-14. It might be 14-14 at that point. I'm not sure. So then
Yeah.
it's like if one play doesn't happen, Lamar's got like a really good shot to just go and win this game, and then we're talking about it completely differently.
Yeah. I mean that pick he threw was just
That pick he threw
one of
was
the
horrendous,
one of the
horrendous,
worst interceptions. It
horrendous.
was
Yeah,
still not worse than the Mac Jones interception, but like up
no,
there with that bad
yeah,
because of the
triple
time.
coverage, underthrown
Triple
triple
coverage.
coverage.
And poor Isaiah Likely decided to just be like, hit me.
Yeah, yeah, no, luckily he was like, got it, dude, got
Which
it,
he
dude.
was like open for a second, but still bad.
Yeah, so
Um, what I had something else real quick about Lamar.
it was one of the craziest like single game could have been swings ever. It's like okay, he loses. Now we're like, can this guy ever win in the playoffs? He
Right, and
wins.
it's
Oh, he
also
could be
like
a Hall.
it's that, but
He
it's
is a Hall.
also like he wins, and it's like, oh, the AFC's kind of up for grabs next year and into the coming future, and now it's like, will anyone ever beat the Chiefs ever?
Ever.
That's the
Because this
argument.
was the year. It's
I
so
know,
crazy
I
how
know,
bad they were. Dude,
I know.
MVS could not catch a ball. Remember the
All
Packers
year,
game?
yeah.
All year. He's got two game winners, basically, back to back weeks. Sure.
I know, and
Sure.
that's what they were talking about it on PMT. They were like, shout out Patrick Mahomes for blaming the refs, for blaming everyone, but not his receivers, because like
So
he gave
true,
the
though.
faith, which is a Brady thing.
So
It's like,
true.
well, not that Brady's going to blame the
Yeah.
refs or anything, but it's like Brady would never go out there and be like, yeah,
Ever.
Gronk's not catching passes or anything,
Ever.
or
Yeah.
like whoever's not catching
He had,
passes
he had so many opportunities, and we would have been like, yeah, Patrick, I agree.
would have been like,
But he
yeah,
never
these dudes are
did.
terrible, right?
Yeah. Never did. And then they fucking showed it. I mean, that's an unreal catch like MVS made to win that game. He was like,
Unreal.
oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
good. The other stat I had in my mind that was floating around was from Rosillo's pod, and he said something, I forget the stat, but it was just crazy the thought of it, that Lamar Jackson didn't like throw a pass down more than 8 points like late in the game or in the fourth quarter or something. Or maybe at all this season. It was something crazy like that. Like he wasn't down 2 scores when he passed the ball at all this year. So it's like you put him in a spot in the playoffs where he has to go win games by multiple like scores, and he made an error. So it's like he's not battle proven. We should all
At
saw
all.
that. He
Yeah,
wasn't
I
battle
know.
proven.
I saw another thing today that was like I think it was on Simmons' pod who was like they haven't been down by that much in like 2 years.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
like
which is we were like, oh, they're blowing out the Dolphins. They must be really good. But it's like the Chiefs lost to some bad teams, and they probably got motivated, and then they won
yeah,
some good games against good
that's so
teams.
true. They've seen
Yeah,
every type of game this year. The Chiefs.
yeah. This was a super like
Oh,
uh, what is it? Hindsight's 2020.
so true. But then at the same time, it's like, what if Zay Flowers doesn't fumble?
Well, yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
uh,
guess. Yeah,
I know. It's like it's just like one play. Like football's insane. But I
yeah.
know
What if
it
Taylor
does.
Swift got assassinated? What?
Right. Yeah. What?
That would be
That's
weird.
crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, I
What
wouldn't
was
wish that upon anyone besides Steph Curry.
everyone's pissed about the matchup, which I understand. storyline wise. Like, wow, the Lions Ravens would have been so fun. But in terms of like a football game, I'm pretty sure this game is going to be unreal. Like in
It's the
terms of
Super
the
Bowl.
actual,
It doesn't matter. It's the Super Bowl.
yeah,
It really
I
doesn't
know.
matter. It's the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
but I just mean like in terms of like the way these teams are built. Like, oh, it'll be fun. Like the game itself. Now I
Yeah,
understand.
that's like
Not,
everyone's healthy. Everyone's
yeah,
healthy. We
right?
got like two. Well, I'm not gonna say two stacked teams, but like the Chiefs have a really good defense and
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, and then the
Yep.
49ers are obviously stacked. It's like if anyone can
Mm-hmm.
take down the Chiefs, it seems like the 49ers
Okay.
have the deepest roster. Which
Yep.
I don't know about their defense, but
I got to eat an orange still. I forgot to get one at Trader Joe's. Next time I'm out, I'll
yes,
get
that
one.
bet. Yes, make sure you
Yep.
wash the skin.
Yes, I told Noah that, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Dude, what? That's crazy." And I was like, "I know, we made a bet." And he was like, "Just peel it, just peel it." And I was like, "No, no, 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 like that's part of the bet. Like I couldn't." And he's like, "Wow, you're really gonna eat an apple like whole?" And I was like, "No, one, no." I said an orange. Two, how do you eat your apples? Because that's how I eat them anyway. So
I
you
don't
can
like
ask.
it with the skin. I can't eat it with the skin on. Have you
Yeah.
seen that one? Have you seen that Always
No,
Sunny clip?
sounds
Dude,
awesome.
so funny. Yeah,
Uh,
so funny.
that's great.
All right, give me your little goat thing, and then we'll
Okay,
do whatever.
let me know what you think about this. So there's a
Okay.
bunch of people saying, like Shannon Sharp saying Mahomes is the GOAT. Colin Coward, which I was shocked by, saying Mahomes is the GOAT. Mahomes cannot possibly be the GOAT. It's just like you can't physically say that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest football player of all time over Brady. It just doesn't work. Because, like, until he either wins 7 Super Bowls at least or is dominant for at least 20 years, because the parameters of their situations are the exact same. So the argument just doesn't work. Okay, now let me compare this to the LeBron Jordan debate because their parameters are not the same. So LeBron, like you could say LeBron's the GOAT, I say LeBron's the GOAT, but it's like, well, he didn't win 6 championships, so this logic is flawed. But it's like, no, because his and Jordan's experiences were so different. Like those are two so different experiences. Jordan comes in a completely different league. First of all, they're like 30 years, 20 years apart. Jordan inherits one of the greatest coaches ever, one of the most
Right.
stable organizations ever. He inherits one of the greatest GMs ever. He didn't have to deal with the Warriors dynasty. And this isn't a LeBron versus Jordan thing. This is just
He didn't have to. He didn't have to deal with the media pressure.
didn't have to deal with the media pressure. And this isn't even a them like thing. It's just showcasing how different they are. Like it's two insanely different experiences. So you can make that argument when the results aren't the same because the parameters aren't the same. Like,
Okay.
yeah, so LeBron didn't win 6. Well, that's okay because he had all these other different things going on. So you can really make this argument. Conversely, when it comes to Mahomes and Brady, their parameters are like the exact same. Like they're like shockingly the same. Like they both had a year where they didn't really do anything, and then in their second year they were immediately great. They both have won a bunch of Super Bowls early, right? And they both inherited an all-time great coach, right, with great teams around them in the AFC. They both have things like a very cold home field advantage with sort of these all-time great players around them. So it's like they're so similar that you have to both judge them on the same exact results, in my opinion. Now, if some crazy stuff happens throughout Mahomes' career and things change, then we could fix that argument. But I sort of use the analogy of like, say you have two horses, both competing on the same 100-meter track. The tracks, they're on the same track. Horse A finishes faster than horse B, so that's, horse A is better. But now you could just have two horses, like one's a Mustang, one's a Clydesdale, and one's running through like mountains and rivers, and the other's running through a field. And like the one that's running through a field finishes ahead, but the Clydesdale is also really fast running through the mountains. They're both fast, and so you can kind of say like, well, actually, I think the one that ran through the mountains might be a little better. You can make that sort of argument because there's such different situations. You can't physically make that argument with the two horses that are on the same track. That's what I think that this argument is. Like you just can't say that Mahomes is the greatest because he's had the same exact situation as Brady and he's just not there yet. Now, check back with me in 20 years. You know what I mean? I'm open, but I think that's just where it's at. Like you can't physically make that argument right now.
Right. That's fair. That's totally fair. It's like saying like Phil Mickelson is not as good as Tiger Woods. They started on tour like the same year, and Tiger Woods just won more tournaments, so it's like he's better. There's not a lot of
Right.
disparities in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's the same thing, but I agree with the check back with me in 20 years because like if you want to talk about like on track, you can do whatever you want, but like
For sure.
he does have the ability to go win 7 Super Bowls. We know that because he's won 2,
Yep.
almost 3.
Yep.
But you do have to have that long career. Like Tom Brady played 20 years, broke
It's
passing
insane.
records, did everything. So it's a lot different. And at a certain point, Patrick Mahomes will be playing football without Andy Reid.
True. Probably some point soon. Yeah.
Some point soon.
Yep.
So that's a little different scenario. And also, it's. I think I'm hoping these guys are making the argument as I brought up the other day. It's like if we're talking about a skilled player and a winner, Patrick Mahomes is the combination of the two. Like we said, a lot of people historically have said Aaron Rodgers has a better arm than Tom Brady, but he can't win big games or whatever it is.
Right.
If you're talking about Patrick Mahomes in the sense that he has all the skills, the physical assets to be the best football player ever, which he very well might and probably does because he's unbelievable. And he also has that winning mentality, that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant mentality, whatever it is.
Right.
That's the only argument I'm hoping someone's leaning on because that's the only thing that makes sense to me as far as like a player. Like, I think if you said in a game, who would you want to, on your team to like go win a football game? Patrick Mahomes is probably second, and you could probably argue him close to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But obviously if you're talking about greatness, Patrick Mahomes isn't anywhere near. He isn't anywhere near. He's like right now, if you're talking about greatness, he's on the same level as like the Steelers, Big Ben.
Yeah.
When they won 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, which is what it is right now.
Yeah.
Totally. He's on that level. He's on like whatever, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning winning 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, having a lot of success. Like he's there, but if his career falls off, just because it happened early in his career doesn't mean he's going to have 20 years of sustained winning, 12 plus games a year, making it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
It is, but it's so weird that it's like Tom Brady just retired and now Patrick Mahomes is already on track to like pass him.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But that's the thing. It's like it's not, and it's so not like it's like, oh yeah, all he needs to do is play 20 years and he'll probably do it, which is fair. Like if he plays, if you get Patrick Mahomes playing for 20 years, like there's a solid chance. But it's so insane for a player to play that long and be that good for that long. Like that, there's one player that's ever done it ever.
Yes, yeah, it is less insane to do it now than it was back then because it's modern, like all this medicine. You could just follow the TB12 method if you fucking want.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's all crazy stuff. I mean, sports is about comparing things, and when you're on ESPN, you got to say crazy shit to get views. So it's
so true.
It is crazy. I doubt anyone there believes that he's better at all.
I can see the argument.
You see, he went on McAfee.
Mahomes did or Brady?
Brady was on McAfee today. Yeah,
I saw that today. Yeah, I didn't.
He was like, he was like, I can't wait to call the Super Bowl next year. I was like, dude.
So I had this in my notes. Weird. It's crazy because Olsen is the best color commentator in the game right now. Maybe even better than Aikman, and I love Aikman.
And they talked about that, and he was like, I have so much respect for Greg and everything he does, blah, blah, blah. I love the way he calls games. Yeah.
If I'm Amazon Prime, I'm throwing a bag at Greg Olsen.
Huge.
If I'm sneaky and I like Collinsworth, if I'm NBC, I'm doing the same thing.
I would do it for anyone.
Yeah, I love Aikman and Buck. I don't think I'd split those two up on ESPN. But
yeah, fair.
CBS for sure.
Yeah, no, he's having that young football mind is way better than these random dudes that never really played football calling games sometimes.
Yeah, and I just don't know how it's a whole art. Like Olsen's so smooth, and so I love the way he breaks things down. I'm worried that I think Brady's going to be able to break things down. I just don't know how smooth he's going to be. Like even seeing him talk like on McAfee, I'm like, I don't know if this guy's amazing on TV.
No, he definitely still has a little autism, and also it's like, is every question just going to be like, oh, how is playing with Bill Belichick? It feels like every single time it's just going to be that comparison.
No, right. And I'm like, so I honestly, like, if I had to predict how that would go, I would say not awesome. That being said, like he was already saying, like, it's Tom Brady. He's working like harder than like any human could ever imagine at it. So there's that idea, but we'll see. It's a completely different thing. It's going
to be weird also, like reminiscing when he's talking about like, he's going to be like, yeah, Jules used to run that route. I'm going to be like, oh, dude, don't bring that up. Don't.
Oh, God. One more thing about Mahomes that I just noticed that, like, comparing him to Brady, and maybe in this regard, he actually is better than Tom Brady. Like, he's doing all the similar things that we saw Brady do. Obviously, it's a smaller sample size. But something that I've noticed, like, is how easy it looks to him. It looks so easy for Patrick to, like, do all of these things. And when Brady would do it, it was almost like more of a feat because of how hard it was. Like all these games would come down to the last kick, like Vinatieri kicking the game winner, Brady making that one throw. Like Mahomes doesn't even have that. Like he has that run in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah,
like,
there's definitely
better. Like it just looks easier,
It does look a lot easier. I do think there's some games where like Mahomes has shown that, like against the Bills, which it looked again that did look so easy though because it was like
but it looked so easy. He's like, 13 seconds, I'm just gonna score.
Gonna sling it. The game that comes to mind is the Super Bowl versus the Bucs. When he was literally getting assaulted, like that was jail time for what happened to him when he was like throwing the ball sideways. But that's the thing. Like that was the one game where he looked to be struggling, and it's because they were getting to Mahomes, and then the Ravens like third and whatever that play is, 3rd and 7, they had to pick up to MVS, and they're like, yeah, we're just not going to send anyone.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm still chucking this thing. It's like, okay, they fake showed a blitz or something. Yeah, I don't know, and that's what I thought. That's why I said it. And again, I will not be betting against Patrick Mahomes anymore. But like I was like, I just took the logical route of like they're so good at doing this one thing that the Chiefs aren't good at doing. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. And also, I just like to note that I think I'm on the Niners.
Okay, I'm not.
I think I'm on the Niners. How many people watched that Ravens game and said never bet against Mahomes?
What?
How many people watched that Ravens game and said never bet against Mahomes?
Oh yeah, so many. Oh, so many are going to. There's going to be so much money on the Chiefs. It's going to be unbelievable.
Never.
It's going to be crazy.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%, but that's where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah, we'll see how the next 10ish days unfold. But
yeah.
I don't have much else. Oh, I have the Patriots drafting Marv stuff.
Yeah, you want to do a quick 5 on that?
Yeah. Quick 5 on this. So you brought up the point of maybe the Patriots should draft Marvin Harrison and not a quarterback. And it may be a quarterback in later rounds. And this really got my brain itching a little bit, especially with the 49ers advancing to the Super Bowl with a guy like Purdy. Now, obviously, what's interesting with the 49ers is they fucking did this. Like, they did this with Trey Lance. So, like, I kind of just went back and looked. I'm like, what if they just didn't pick Trey Lance? Because you can say, like, you can just put a new player on this team because Trey Lance doesn't even play, right? Yeah. And, like, he didn't really have any impact on this team the last couple of years. They could have had, like, Micah Parsons. Like, imagine.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like that's just what could have happened. So like you look at some of these teams the last couple of years, like what if they had not gone quarterback? Like you look at the Lions, like obviously Goff was drafted number 1 overall, but not by the Lions. The Lions instead have these unbelievable rookies like Hutchinson, Melon Fonmu, Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, like all these guys were just dogs. And so I'm wondering, like, it's so hard to draft a quarterback, especially at the top rounds. Let's see how hard it is.
Did you say Melon Fonmu? Did he get drafted?
Yeah. What?
Was he in the draft? Yeah, he was in the draft.
Yeah. I don't know how high he was, but like he's one of their young kids that's really good. Our boy. So I sort of looked at good player. At like any of the past drafts that like are similar to this one, where there's some quarterbacks at the top. There's one quarterback that's probably the best. And then there's a couple guys who are, there's some question marks, but they're probably good. And then there's like a couple or one wide receiver that's like really, really good. And so really the draft that comes to mind is the 2021 draft. That's with all those quarterbacks, including Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, and all of them. And then there's also all these wide receivers. So the Jets have the second pick. They pick Zach Wilson. The 49ers have the third pick. They pick Trey Lance. The wide receivers that go in the next, all in the top 10, I believe, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. All hits.
Yeah. All and hits. Then we went Mac Jones.
And then we went Mac Jones, correct. And then I looked at, I won't read off all these. I'll just give you the final numbers. I'll go quarterbacks in the top 10 drafted since 2018 versus wide receivers. For quarterbacks, it is like at most 50% if you want to include Kyler Murray and Anthony Richardson as hits. Okay. If you want to include those as hits, it's 50%. That's crazy. For wide receivers, it's at minimum 80%. And then the other one is Drake London, who was not bad. Yeah. He could be great next year. So if you include Drake London, it's 100% that the wide receivers hit in the top 10 in the last 5 years. So that's really
smaller sample size, to be fair. 4 out of 5
smaller sample size, to be fair. But they're all, but again, like it's the situation. Like there's Marvin Harrison. He's like kind of once in a lifetime prospect.
Right.
Gonna be good. He's gonna be good. So then I went bigger sample size. I went first round wide receivers, first round wide receivers since 2018 versus first round quarterbacks. Quarterbacks is just under 50%, 48%. And then wide receivers in terms of hit rate. And I went like not generous here for the wide receivers. Like I didn't really include Marquise Brown or Jerry Jeudy. I gave him a half a point. And that's 64%. And those are basically the same numbers, a little more on the wide receivers. But again, the only ones that have really missed are like N'Keal Harry, who, by the way, if like a normal team was drafting them, it probably would have been Deebo Samuel, who went 4 picks later. So
right,
talking about that. Yep. Like there's like Jalen Reagor, Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman, Quentin Johnston. Like those are the names that are real busts when it comes to first round wide receivers out of 25. Right. And then quarterbacks, there's a gazillion. Sam Darnold, Josh
Rosen. There is. Yeah. There's also a lot more pressure on quarterbacks.
Of course. No, it's such a hard quarterback to draft, of course. Our position to draft, obviously. But I'm just saying, because it's because of this. I'm not saying this like in general. It's more of just like with this exact situation that the Patriots have. They have this potential guy that they could get.
Yeah, they do. So if you're running a football team and you'd like us to come in and use these advanced statistics to help you win your draft, just shoot us an email. Or we're willing to sell the numbers to the statistics, our calculations. We'll sell out. We're fine with that. Name the price. Name the price.
$1 million flat. And Chandler Jones' weekly appearances.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Okay. I'm on the wave of give everything we have for this Bears pick and just get Caleb Williams and then draft Ladd McConkey.
Sounds awesome. I mean,
give me Ladd McConkey.
Another. I mean, how many possible draft scenarios have we thought up the last 4 months? And that
I think if we just cover all of them, we can't be wrong.
Right? One of them is bound to hit. Like,
we need to start doing. We need to start releasing our like draft, our mock drafts, and just do like version 1.01, 1.02, and do like 2 or 3 a day. And just try and get every possible combination. Because like people are like they've never gotten the first round right completely. If we just do every possible combination, we can easily get it.
We'll get one for sure. Yeah. So that's that.
But did you see the reason I brought up Ladd McConkey is you see the whatever the thing is that's going on right now, like the Senior Bowl or whatever the thing they're doing?
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it about Ladd. No, I saw the uniforms.
I don't know. He's just running insane routes. Like there's clips of him being so open and like
Give him to me. Give him
to me. But also like in a prime Patriots dynasty, he would have been a Hall of Famer. He would have had a 2,000-yard season. Yeah.
Yep, Hall of Famer. I don't know if we'll see. I don't know if Mayo will inherit that type of Belichick vibe. But yeah, he'd be.
I don't think so. But it seems Caleb Williams is available, so that's who I want.
Yeah, that'd be sweet if we can.
The Bears posted the thing. They're like, not QB1. They said JF1 with a big hype video. So
interesting.
That's wild.
Weird. That's all I got on the sports world.
Yeah.
I have a question for you about about current events world. No, keep going.
Okay, I was just gonna say tennis update. Oh, and soccer update.
Oh.
Yeah. Tennis update. Your Australian Open men's singles champion is Jakob Sinner. He beat Djokovic. Yeah, it was tough to watch. That was at 4 in the morning, whatever it was.
Young kid.
And then he's not like the youngest, but he's kind of mixed between like a young, experienced kid. So kind of who you need to beat Djokovic. And then which Djokovic was getting like shit on so bad by the Australian fans, which was I don't know, give or take, because he got like deported from the country for not getting vaccinated.
That's right. Yes.
And then Sabalenka goes back to back, which is pretty cool. Beat Coco Gauff. Bummer, because obviously Coco Gauff's awesome. Yep. Yeah, friend of the program, American, 19 years old, lost to Sabalenka though.
Damn.
I also turned it on. I was like looking through. It was on Hulu. Like I have the ESPN thing on Hulu. I was scrolling through trying to find the right tennis thing. I was clicking on random courts. It was like court 17. Clicked on it, and it's wheelchair doubles. Wouldn't believe it.
Don't say that. Is
it was
awesome.
Unreal.
Court 17.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it because it was so bad. I would have destroyed them.
I bet. You're not in a wheelchair, so that's wow.
I know. That's my advantage. Yeah.
Good for them. Shout out the Australian Open for being accessible.
Shout out that. I think the French Open's next, maybe.
All right, French has got Clay, right? Surely. Or is that Spanish?
Clay. French is Clay.
I don't know if there is a Spanish Open. No,
there isn't.
I'm sure there's a tournament that happens in Spain at some point, but no. Probably not an opening.
Yeah, during the year. Oh, and then the Liverpool update. Mo Salah's hurt, but whatever. Jurgen Klopp's just like, I'm just going to retire. So that
who's going to be the next coach of that go? I mean, it's been insane.
I don't know. This is my first year as a Liverpool fan, and he's going to pull that shit on me. What the hell is that about? And they're at the top of the table, maybe going to take down Man City, who's had like the most dominant run in
Premier League. They're just going to win it again.
It's like, why? Like, also, why say it in the middle of the year?
I know that can't be good for the morale, right? Like, or maybe the boys win it for the one last time for old Klopp.
It could be that. Yeah, that's fine by me. He said it was like because he had to start preparing for the next season already, and he was like, "Wow, I'm not ready to do this." Blah blah blah. But whatever.
They play Arsenal on Thursday. Huge game.
Really? Fuck.
Huge game.
No Salah.
Yeah, Arsenal's favorite. So United's goalie. Kind of controversially, like left. I could be getting this a little wrong, but he like left early or something to go play in play in AFCON. People were like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" Someone to Salah, and he was like, "Dude, I would do this over anything. Like this is my country. I think it's Senegal, or I'm not sure if it's Senegal, but one of those countries." And everyone's kind of up in arms, but it's like whatever. He got shelled. Didn't he?
In AFCON or in
AFCON. Yeah. Played one game. Yeah, let up 3 goals. Played horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Welcome
that's
back.
a bummer. Yeah.
Well, there's our new goalie. Good thing we got rid of De Gea.
Xavi left too, right?
Yep, he was just sacked, which is a bummer because they were looking really, really good. And then this season, like last season, and it's like, oh, cool, it's one of the greatest players in the history of the club, one of the greatest players in the history of the world. And then, oh god, it really, really fell apart for them this year. So
damn,
not sure.
That is a bummer. We're rooting for.
You guys are going to be good though. You guys are going to get old buddy
Liverpool?
there. Yeah, and he's a beast.
Are we getting is he German, the Dortmund guy? I saw something about that.
I think is he with Leverkusen now? Jabi Alonso. He played for Liverpool with Gerrard. Like I think I watched him play in Fenway. He was a beast, all time great. Did he also play with Real Madrid potentially?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know this guy's.
He's great. You're gonna love him. And he's like the Ben Johnson right now. He's been just cooking in the. I think they're like he's taking like Bayer Leverkusen. I think they're like second in the Bundesliga or something.
Hell yeah! So, but then Virgil was like, I think I'm probably gonna leave too.
Wouldn't doubt it. Would not.
He's super old anyway, but it's like he is Liverpool though.
He's Liverpool through and through. Yeah, it'll be
just give it all to Gakpo. Give it all to the Gak.
The Gak attack.
The Gak attack. What do you got? What was you were gonna say something else?
Oh, I think they were talking about this on PMT. I'm not sure if it was PMT, but it was one of those shows. And I don't know if you saw this, but the protesters were throwing stuff at the Mona Lisa.
I did see that.
Yeah, a bunch. Okay, so you saw that video.
Yeah.
They asked this question, and now I'm asking this question because I'm curious to see your response. What if, like, they somehow got through and, like, fucking destroyed the Mona Lisa? Like, they destroyed it, they burnt it, whatever. Like, they destroyed the Mona Lisa. How long...
They as in liberals? Or?
They as in the liberal protesters, the climate change protesters. They broke in and just destroyed the painting. It's gone forever. How long until you don't care at all?
Well, I will say for some context, I am currently in a Renaissance to modern art class.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in and out of museums. I'm writing papers. I'm learning about art, which is like the art I'm starting. It's like this stuff's cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that is kind of affecting me currently. Like if it happened today, I'd be like, dang. But, also, I think I'm still gonna. With that being said, I would say 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I might not last 5.
Those 15 minutes, I wouldn't be like, no, what the hell?
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh, like, look what happened.
Yeah. I would be like, damn. All right.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I'd say, yeah, what was the consensus?
Everyone okay? Or, yeah. Oh, everyone's good. No one got, all right. Yeah.
I don't know. Damn. I would say, I'm also in a climate change class, so I guess I'm on both sides here.
Right. So pick your battle.
Playing both sides. I don't know. It would be weird, but like also, you could just put another one up there.
Wouldn't notice.
Wouldn't notice. We went to Pompeii, and they were like, by the way, all of this was rebuilt like 100 years ago. By the way,
this Pompeii, fake.
All of this is fake.
All of it. I was like, you're kidding me. I spent all this money to get here. You're telling me now that this is all fake.
Really, I booked the train tickets for the whole day, so we're gonna have to look at something.
The entire day, and you're telling me this was built.
And you're also telling me Pompeii. This is all it is. There's nothing else.
Nothing else. There's nothing else. There's no city. This is some schmuck in the 50s built a bunch of ruins. You're telling
me. And
me
only one person died. I mean, what are we?
This town over here is way cooler. You can't go see it though.
You can't go see it because it's cheaper and closer to where you were before. So
yes,
don't go there.
Like,
no, I don't. I wouldn't be like that upset. I think I wouldn't really. I'm honestly not sure if it would even come across my timeline.
Right?
Yeah.
You hear the Mona Lisa got destroyed? No way. How about that? All right. You want to get Chipotle or something?
Yeah, like, what is me stressing about it going to do?
What am I to do? You know,
I wonder, what would have to be destroyed for me to be like, holy shit, like New Zealand or something?
Oh yeah, that would certainly elicit a holy shit reaction from me. The Eiffel Tower, I'd be like, damn, no, I never got to see that.
Where did it go? Yeah, I don't.
Everyone okay? Like if people died, then it's a different story.
You know what's crazy? I bet if some random countries disappeared, I wouldn't really turn my head.
Disappeared? What do you mean by disappeared? Like wiped off the face of the earth?
Like, say, I'm looking at a big map right now. Say, like, all due respect to all these countries. Say, Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea just disappeared off the map into the ocean. I would have been like, that is so weird.
That was something there? No? That was all right. Yeah.
I would never know.
I would never know.
If Papua New Guinea disappeared and no one told me, I would never know.
No one told me, but no one kept it a secret, right? Like if you asked, they'd tell you. I would never know. I would still
never know. I would never ask what's going on in Papua New Guinea.
Exactly. I would never know. You know, Burkina Faso isn't a thing anymore. They aliens just plucked it up.
I'd be like, that was a thing. That was a thing in the first place.
You're kidding me. I had no idea.
What about America? What about the U.S. of A? We're fine.
That'd be pretty big news.
No, if that happened, I'm saying, who cares about Burkina Faso? We got America.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like the U.S. goes. Oh my god. Yeah. Who cares?
Last thing here.
I hope everyone's there is good. But
quick 30-minute episode turned into double that, but
it always does.
Yeah, it does. Last thing here, I'm taking biology, and one of my projects is like a semester-long thing where I have to research a specific species, plant or animal.
Okay.
I'm taking recommendations. I have to turn it in by next week. I'm thinking right now, speaking of New Zealand, that's what was on my mind. There's these parrots called kias, and they just live in the mountains, but they're like super pretty parrots, but they just live in the mountains. Like they'll hang out with like skiers and stuff like that. So I feel like that's a cool one just because they're super weird. But cool. my dad said to do like a strain of weed, which would be pretty funny. That would be funny.
But I feel like it doesn't have as much character as these birds. These birds sound sick.
These birds sound cool, but also I'm not sure they're going to be easy to write about. Like I have to get like primary sources and stuff. Probably be easier to just do like a black bear or like
autobiography on the bird. Yeah, bird wrote it. Right. The bird himself wrote it. All right. Well, please suggestions in the comments about what animal Quinn should do for his biology report.
Right. Sweet.
That's great. Great episode.
Great episode.